Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and buenos dias. Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel with me, Ron Swanson, the wonderful Shane, and Lady Letitia. I'm currently in England, spending the day down here doing some bits and bobs. I have been a little bit let down by some of the coverage of 5G. We're now in a 5G spot, which is great. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully I'm coming through okay. Paula should be joining us at some point as well. And really, today I want to start off by going back into everything that's coming out about Diddy from the angle of, the effect that this could have on Hollywood, the people that have been named in this case, not so much named in the case, but named as partakers, Patreons of these parties that Diddy was throwing. Obviously, we've all seen the picture now of the baby oil. They're the ones with the pumps on the top, Letitia. Like, we were talking about this yesterday. Like, how much lube do you need that you need to have a pump on the top of it? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's a party pump.
It's a goddamn something. And, it was the way, if that is obviously a real picture, I mean, I'm assuming it is. The way that they're laid out looks awfully for personal use and not being stored for a cartel to be reverse engineered back into another substance, if you know what I'm saying. It's wild. And we spoke yesterday about Justin Bieber, about his concerns that hang on. His concerns with what's going to effectively come out in this case. And I had a realization yesterday that Justin Bieber doesn't care about the world finding out about anything. That man is so in love with his wife and publicly, says how much he wants to be the perfect man for her. I think he's worried about how she sees him changing if things were to come out. And
she ain't going nowhere.
It just adds an extra. No, I know that, but in the mind of somebody who's living in such fear and has all of this weight of his own past on his shoulders, and when we start talking about people being unknowingly sedated and intoxicated for things to happen, secret filming, it is just awful. But listen, everyone, I also want to say apologies for not getting a decent thumbnail up today. It probably will affect the bits and bobs that we're doing. So if you guys could give us a little share, that would be massively, massively helpful. YouTube tends to take its time. But before we jump into Diddy, and if I hit a 4G spot, that didn't sound right, a 4G area, my signal might drop a little bit, but I will still be here. And we've got a lot to get through. So first of all, though, Shane, how are you doing? What's been happening with you? I know that you're going through it. You've got a bit of a mad day today. So how are you feeling? How's your last couple of days been?
I mean, again, chilling out in the nursing home with some of the old folks is pretty cool. I've been told some pretty neat stories and have some pretty interesting entertainment. But I go for my biopsy today for a tumor they got found on my spine. So keeping fingers crossed it's nothing serious. And then I got to figure out whether we could get it removed without me being paralyzed or not, because it's putting pressure on my spine, paralyzing both of my legs right at this point. So
okay.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, serious stuff, man. It's serious stuff. And Letitia, how about you? How have you been?
I've been great, thank you. I'm supposed to go to a wedding this Saturday, but there's a hurricane here in the U.S. and may not make it.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you've got some weather over there, guys. Like,
crazy stuff.
You guys have got some serious weather over there. It always blows my mind to think of, how every single year there's hurricanes, there's tornadoes, there's floods, there's this. It's just you got the fat end of the stick with a lot of the weather. But hopefully things will work out, and you can keep us updated on that, Letitia. I've only been, I think, one or two weddings. They've always been a complete riot, I have to say. It's always good. Always good. A good party.
I bet you're fun at a wedding.
Yeah, let's not talk about me at weddings. It's a good set of stories. But I was watching a bunch of new Diddy compilations, right? Interviews, people that have been doing TikTok analyses and all this kind of stuff. And one thing, the tunnels underneath, right? And where those tunnels came from, and the fact that they lead to the Playboy Mansion, and these are all documented construction plans that took place, I think, in the 70s, where a lot of the actors, celebrities at the time were building their houses around the mansion and having little tunnels built. You can all sort of work out what for. And it got me thinking about the gravity of if Diddy makes it to court, right? If Diddy makes it to court and he's got endless amounts of blackmail footage of people, whether they're being abused or whether they're being or they're the abusers. He apparently had a vault full of tapes with every encounter with a straight man that he managed to, bend to his will. And it was his ex-wife, Kim, who apparently witnessed all these things, has put out, there's chapters of books that are coming to the surface. And some of the things that have been said, it's incredibly damning to the character of Puff Daddy, shall we say, further damning. And over the next couple of days, I've got a bit of content that I'm working on for all you lovely people, where I really think we should start peeling the lid off of how big this web is. The friends, the politicians, the princes, the film stars, the personalities, all of them. We need a visual to see how this web how they all come together. Because I heard something the other day that, this Diddy situation, it's just something to distract us from the politics. It's just something to distract us from the politics. No, the politics is something to distract us from this. There's no political election in the world that could possibly pull people's attention away from a potential domino falling effect of Hollywood predator elites. If Diddy makes it to court, he's going to sing like a goddamn canary. Okay?
You think?
He's going to sing. He's got a track record of using manipulation and blackmail and selling people's content that he's made without their consent. 100%, he will sing like a canary. The only thing that would stop that from happening is how quickly they could get to his kids and use his family against him. 100%.
His son's already in trouble as it is too.
Is he?
Yeah, 100. Yeah, exactly.
The one son is. Did they press charges against him too?
Yeah. There's something incredibly dodgy circling the sun as well.
Wow.
Again, though, it's one of those things you got to look at these things with how's his son been raised? Has he been raised into being well, this is it. With everything that's been moving so fast this week, I'm really starting to dial in on elements of this that I want to explore more. There's so much, and it's being covered across the board in different ways by so many different people. For me now, I really want to use this as a way of really magnifying the true nature of Hollywood, the history of it all, why it keeps being allowed to happen, why there isn't larger investigations into the people that surround these music executives, these movie moguls. It's a never-ending cycle that doesn't even seem to be slowing down. You just got to look at how many children go missing when they cross borders, when they try and come into America, when people are doing mass emigrations. It's a scary statistic. And that's before you start bringing in all the people from America who are disappearing. but there is a lot of
Still with us
statements
there,
and a
buddy?
lot of
Oh, yeah.
interviews from years ago. Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. Yeah, Letitia, take us through your impressions. You're out in America. What's it like on the news? What are people saying? What's the impression that you've been
Everybody.
left with of Diddy so far?
When my mom starts talking about P. Diddy, it's serious because she's like 80 years old, and it's serious. Her Barbara mentioned something like, he's going to be the first guy to go down, get the death penalty for being a freak. I mean, Diddy's in some serious trouble. And that's all people are talking about is his charges. Beaver, what's going on with him, what could come out, like what Diddy did to him. And just going back through those clips and seeing him with Diddy, I mean, you can see the control. Also to Kim Porter's book, it's some serious allegations in there about how she was a part of the sex ring going on with him, and it's just getting thicker and thicker, and more people are getting involved, like TD Jakes, what is his name, Jay-Z. These people are really in some serious trouble.
Yeah.
They're probably running around lawyering up, getting their lawyers together and trying to figure out.
Well,
and also Kevin Hart.
Yeah, you see, these are some big names, okay? Like big names in Hollywood. And another thing we need to look at, Letitia, is the deletion of people's social media accounts. Okay,
Yes.
Usher wiped his Twitter and then said he'd been hacked. Okay, so ideally, then, if he's been hacked, can we have somebody from Twitter reinstate his account for him?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Can we get Elon Musk? Can we just reverse all that? Because I'm sure that would be a great help for Usher, right? And the same thing with Pink. And Pink's an interesting one.
Yes.
On you go, Letitia.
No, I was going to say about
yeah. On you go. You go first. You go first. You go first. You go first.
Usher's running around talking about, see, you guys got it all wrong. I did get hacked, as if he didn't have anything to do with what's going on. You were in the smack dead middle of this because you brought Beaver into it, and you were a part of that too. I mean, he was probably a little violated as well. Do you think?
Oh, if he can hear you or not.
Shane, I think he went out.
Yeah. Hey, Paula.
Hey, Paula.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm here. Sorry, I was just letting Paula in. Okay. So, yeah, I think everyone has got a lot of blood on their hands, Letitia. And can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Are we live?
Yes, you can. Okay. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we're live. We're live.
Are we?
Yes.
Hang on. Ron is. Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, Ron, we don't need you anymore. You can take off, buddy.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, we got the crew.
So just the one point I want to get across, right, is the social media deletions. Pink done the exact same thing. The female recording artist Pink, she deleted everything. There's a list that's come out now of all the politicians, news presenters who've stepped down from their positions the second that Diddy got busted. And you have to question this, because when we look at the music video, Just Like a Pill, all right, this is one that I'm looking into for timelines and events where maybe Pink and Diddy have crossed paths to look at, because there is a high temple member of the Satanic Church. He's a very high, powerful priest that is in that video. He's wearing the full Satanic priest regale, skull painted on his face, a black top hat, all this stuff. And that is something that Wedger and I have talked about and went over. And if you were to go on YouTube, give a Google for Just Like a Pill and watch it through, you'll see 3 instances. And when we start putting our conspiratorial algorithm onto what words can mean in the songs, you can get some quite interesting outcomes if you sort of broaden your horizons a little bit. And that is what I'm working on for everyone. I really want to deep dive into a lot of the people who want to try and erase their connections, their social media footprint and all that when it comes to Diddy. But Paula, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Look what I got. One of my friends, she was a subscriber, but now we've become very good friends. She sent me this.
Oh,
Cristiano.
I feel like I can
Oh,
touch it.
nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, why do I feel like give it 6 months and there'll be like a hand rubbing print worn through that? Do you know what I'm saying?
There's statues in Norway. There's a thing called the
I've never seen you blush, Paula.
and it's there's the statues of people like for real, like naked and stuff like that. And then there's a woman sitting like that with her breasts because they're all naked, and only the breasts are complete black because people people take pictures groping them. Yeah, but no, I am so excited. It's just the way it moves.
Oh, do you know, I was wondering where you were going with that, right? But it makes sense. We've got a little statue of a little dog in Edinburgh, and it's meant to be good luck if you rub his nose. And I mean, he's made of solid brass. But I mean, it doesn't take many years for that nose to get completely worn off by the tourists. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying.
They just need to throw. They need to just throw a.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you know that.
No, on you go.
Like Justin Bieber called "Yummy Yummy." Well, you got that yummy. Yeah. Have you watched that video?
Yeah, nah, I've not.
Have you watched that video, the Yummy video by Justin Bieber?
No, maybe we should bring it out. What's going on?
That's a very old song that he wrote right around the time with P. Diddy. It's about him being served up to Hollywood, and he, like all these perverts and everybody. Wait 1 second, the garbage. They're coming. So if you look at that video, I don't know if you can pull it without the sound, but if you look at that video, well, you got that yummy and the music like that, and it's like really disgusting men and women laughing, and then he's on a plate, like an empty plate.
Wow.
Justin Bieber. Yeah, it is. I mean, he was telling people.
Paula, how does the song go again?
Yummy,
well, you got that yummy. It's something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it's the yummy song from Yummy, like
slow or fast?
Hmm?
Is it a slow song or a fast song?
It's kind of like
I don't know what you mean.
You just want me to sing it, and I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, that was exactly it. You see, you're getting too smart to my tactics now. But yeah, well, listen, I will pull it up.
And I watched the live yesterday with Ron and that awesome guest, and he was saying that the FBI was going through the videos in case the wrong face popped up, then they would delete it. And I asked a question: what do they mean by? What did he mean by wrong face? Does he mean like Barack Obama or Clinton popped up, so the FBI would erase those things? I left that question because what did he mean by that? The FBI are going through the tapes in case the wrong face pops up.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
Cut it out.
Like, have you looked into this place that they've got him held in the same place as the man on the island, the same place R. Kelly went, right? They've got him under strict security, all this stuff, right? But this has already been put in place for someone of high profile, and we've seen how it worked out. So what do you think the chances are of them getting it right in a public perspective this time, Paul? In fact, Queenie, what do you think? Do you think he's going to make it to court? Oh, maybe Queenie's not there. Paula, what do you think? Oh no, Queenie is there.
I am here. You're not hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hi, Queenie.
No, we can hear
Hello.
you now, mate.
Yeah, we didn't hear you the
Uh,
first time, Queenie.
I don't even know what's going on, because to me this is all another distraction from the election. I'm just looking at it from another angle as well. I don't know. I don't know.
I think he will make it through.
I don't know. I'm just in. Sometimes I think they'll take him out, and then another time I think that he already made few phone calls to say, if I'm taken out, something will just pop out and the world will see. So maybe they'll keep him.
Can he complain to his lawyer and tell his lawyer that he feels like he's in danger, even though he's.
Okay, Letitia, we had a groundbreaking moment in this case already. P. Diddy offered his entire mansion and fleet of personal jets as a $50 million bail. Okay. And they
Wow.
refused it. They said there is absolutely no terms and conditions that they could see. He's such a high risk to the public, allegedly, that they wouldn't take anything. $50 million bail offer, his lawyer said. And they were like, no chance. So he can put forward whatever he wants. But this is
I
the
think I know why.
pinnacle
I think I know
of
why.
don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
No, I don't
Okay, yeah,
think
that's
so.
with it, Paula.
I don't
I
think
heard.
so. I think that they want to do that because they want to make sure that he doesn't get to trial.
Oh, you don't
I
think?
don't. I think he has too many names, and I did disagree with the guest yesterday when he said that Barack and Clinton would not be that stupid and they were more careful. I completely disagree because these people, you know this, Ron, when they do it for a long time without getting caught or almost getting caught and getting away with it, they become more reckless. And then we had John Legend with Chrissy Teigen when they asked John Legend where was the weirdest place they'd done it with Chrissy Teigen, and Chrissy Teigen let it slip at the Obamas before he was president, or before he ran for president, or while
I
he was
saw
running
that.
for president. I mean, and you can see that the both of them got very uncomfortable, and he was with Diddy a lot. Okay, so I disagree with him because he said, "Oh, they're going to be careful." No, they're not going to be careful because they were all protecting each other. They got arrogant and they get careless. There's no reason. The reason why they're not allowing P Diddy to get out, and this is just my thoughts and opinions, is because he still has access to information that he can leak. So they want to keep in control so he doesn't accidentally leak information that shouldn't be there.
Allegedly.
That's what I was. Yeah, yeah.
See, I thought that
It's
they
my
Yeah,
picked him
opinion.
up. I thought they picked
I
him up
think.
early
On you
because
go,
they
Letitia.
wanted to have control over. Well, so they picked him up a day before he was supposed to turn himself in because he went to New York to do that specifically because he knew it was coming down. And so he went to New York to wait it out. And then once the indictment came down, he was going to turn himself in. But the feds decided to do it a day early. Do you think that they were trying to control the narrative and say, well, we're not going to let you out. That's why we're picking you up a day early. And even though you might not be a flight risk, we're going to pick you up early so that we can keep you in jail and we're not giving you bail. They already had pre-planned that, you think?
But then why would it make sense? Because clearly he was in New York. I think he was getting ready to release information before they picked him up. I think that the FBI got a hold of it, found out about it, and they went to get him before that because it doesn't make sense. Why would he be considered a flight risk if he went to New York specifically to hand himself in?
Right.
They knew where he was. No, I think that P. Diddy was getting ready to release some info, and they don't want him. They want to keep him as isolated as possible so he doesn't give the go ahead and say, here, release this or release that. I really do believe that because it makes absolutely no sense. If he was there, I mean, he wasn't making a secret of his whereabouts. He was walking everywhere, to the point that people are talking about it and saying, oh no. I
Taking
really do
pictures
think
with
that
them.
he has the high ups. I do believe he has the garbage on Obama, clearly on Clinton, because P. Diddy has been deeply ingrained in the Democratic Party for years. And they're all been coming to his parties, him and Ron Burkle. Your guest didn't know who Ron Burkle is. Ron Burkle is the owner of Soho House, a proper billionaire. who for a members only club where people like Weinstein and the Men in the Island and Oprah and all those people go there, and who also has a plane, and I can't say the name of the plane here because it's very vulgar, but that's what he calls it. And this guy, I mean, these are proper billionaires to the point that your guest didn't know who he was, and he's the godfather to Diddy's children and his business partner.
That's one of the reasons, Paula, I'm thinking it's a distraction as well. Because what's been happening all last week, the world economics crazy thing that the bill went through, they signed it. So they're trying to push this stuff so we can be talking about that and not saying that they're trying to censor us and take us over.
I don't know. I just think that they're trying to prevent, because I think people were saying that he had planes leaving and there was stuff in that plane. You don't need a plane to send something, information, you know what I mean, or files that can be easily scanned and sent everywhere.
Well, Paul, a quick question.
Yeah.
Wasn't he stopped trying to get on one of the planes or at the airport with the plane?
He wasn't, no, that was one time. But then he sent his planes on their own, from what I understand.
Okay, yeah,
Without him.
I couldn't remember. I was thinking that he was still trying to go because I
No.
think he's going to be gone at the first chance he could have gotten to do that before he was incarcerated, because he is a billionaire. He could fly anywhere in the world into a country that does not have, where they can bring him back here. I think he would run in a whip stitch, that he would have done it if he could have, and he was just sending that plane wherever he was going to go with whatever he has on that plane that he needs, whether it be information, a video, or whatever. That's his money he was taking
can't
with
hide.
him.
He's too big.
He doesn't have to hide, but he needs to go to somewhere that they can't bring him back here. He
That's
doesn't have to
true.
hide anywhere. He just has to go to
Yeah.
a country they
Yeah.
can't bring him back.
I want
Philippines
to
or some of these
expand
other
on something that
countries.
Paula said. Yeah, I want to expand on something that Paula touched on there, which was Kim's book, right? In Kim's book, she stated that she'd seen, the vault of all of Diddy's secrets, and that she had copies of them. If we believe that, then Diddy's not the only way that these elites can be taken down. If we've got reason to believe that there's dead man switches out there that can be dropped at the right time, which she said that she had, what do you think the chances are of an unknown source being able to topple Hollywood outside of Diddy's will? Do you think that's a possibility?
I think it is. I think there's people that are with him, like Paula was saying, that billionaires hang with billionaires. There's people there with more money and more power than Diddy had, and that we may not necessarily know who they are by staring at them or taking a look at them, but somebody who's got more power and more money, like an Elon Musk or somebody like that, sure, there's a definite possibility there's more people involved that are in that high power.
Yeah, in the UN, when I
agree.
When I used to go around there were proper billionaires that people have never heard of them, and they, like Elon Musk is like nothing compared to these people. These people have actually real power. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, they're like, but they have people like with actual power. I remember one time when I was at the World Bank, and this guy came. I mean, I think I spoke about it. He was wearing like jeans, a t-shirt, flip flops, and he had security. He had his own plane, and then he had one plane flying on beside him, right, following him. It was his ambulance. And then he had but he wasn't flashy. You wouldn't have told that this guy was so powerful. I've never seen that guy. I have never heard his name or anything like that. These are the people with real power. And I really believe that even Oprah has to go down. I don't know if she's going to go down, but if they're willing, they're going to sacrifice Oprah. They should sacrifice Jay-Z, Kevin Hart, small potatoes. Because I know a lot of people are talking about Kevin Hart. They have to go after Jay-Z. They have to go after Oprah, because these people have been meeting together. They put Diddy as a sacrificial lamb. Like, we're going to give you
He's
this
a
one.
smaller fish.
Yeah, but P. Diddy is not going to go down without a fight. And I really do believe that the FBI is crooked. corrupted, because
I do too.
the DA was asked a question which he avoided to answer, which was very key. I actually have it here. I'm going to do a video about it. Is if you all knew, because he said that they knew that this was going on for a long time. So a reporter asked him, if you knew that this was going on for a long time, why did you wait so long to do that?
Exactly.
And he
They
just
knew.
avoided it. He said, just it doesn't matter why we waited. The good thing is that we're here now. Of course it matters,
No,
because they knew
it
that
does
so
matter.
many victims could have been avoided.
Yes, it does matter. You're so right, Paula. It's like they knew that this was going on for a very long time. Of course, they knew.
See, we are all coming back again. They have to do these things to distract us from the real stuff that's happening around us.
No,
I
I
agree.
disagree with that. I disagree with that. I think that what's happened right now is that this is just my theory. It's just that people are fighting back. I've been saying this for a while. The internet is these elites' worst enemy, because with the internet you can't hide anything, really,
No.
guys.
Right.
It's like they're not used to this form of animal. What do you mean you didn't know that? Like, I was watching Candace with Kamala Harris yesterday, where about the fake photo that she posted in her book about that being her grandmother, and then it turns out that her grandmother died before she was born. Like,
Jeez.
Yeah.
it's absolutely insane. I mean,
didn't know
the
about
things
that.
that people not be anybody, and this is somebody from New Zealand who sent that to Kamala Harris. Sorry, to Candace. I mean, the world now is truly a little handkerchief. You fold it; it's everywhere. The internet is a monster that nobody was counting on. They used to be able to control the media. Not anymore. I mean, the mainstream media does a very good job of gaslighting us. Oh, this is what you have to believe. This is really he's very popular. Yeah, Harry, 60% of the UK want Harry back as a working royal.
See, this is we keep going right back around.
Well,
They
Queenie,
want to
Queenie, I've
censor
got
the internet.
a question for
So
you, Queenie. When you say it's a distraction, so the things that are happening on the political side, even though if you have Diddy's situation is a distraction, how does it really distract anybody? You know what I mean? How do you look at it as a distraction?
because we're not paying attention to what the politicians are doing. For example, half people, even in my own country, did not even know in Jamaica I'm talking about, did not
Right.
even know that the prime minister went to New York for that summit, and they didn't even know what it was all about. Everyone just keep talking about Diddy, 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 Diddy. No one knew anything about that.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I just figure here. I mean, there's
Well, the thing is that people are finding out. Like, people are
just
calling out the
normal news
politicians.
channels. There's enough room for everything to be out there for people to pay
Yeah,
attention to both.
yeah.
So that's why I was wondering how you were looking at it as a distraction because
The
I watch
reason
both. You
the
know.
mainstream media is not talking about the world economic thing that happened. They're talking about Diddy.
Yeah, more
No,
so than
people
what they.
are
Okay, I
talking
get it.
about that. People are talking about that. People are talking about that. I have seen, if you go, at least I know that the mainstream media doesn't talk about it. They
But
never
that's
talk
what I'm
about
talking about. The people in my country, most people don't watch people do have internet, but not everyone is
Right.
privy to a what they call um warriors, Candace. Most people don't watch these things. They tend to watch the main. I'm telling you, I'm talking about my family member who don't know about these other people that give
Channels.
them news.
So just people that
Because
have the
when
standard outlet of news media like TV, they don't have
exactly,
YouTube. They don't
that's
have
where
all these.
everyone waits until 7 o'clock or five
Right.
o'clock to listen to the radio or watch the telly. So this is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, we can
Well,
go watch
Half the
300
people
news
I
channels.
spoke to,
I
yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
but I don't know. I
What
disagree with that.
about
Let me just say
what about the
something.
possibility of the Kamala Harris bullets through the window being an attempted distraction to take everyone's attention away from Diddy that didn't work?
That I yes, 100%. I agree with that being a distraction too.
Like, I don't believe.
Paula,
I
you were
know.
going to say something. Sorry, apologies.
Don't believe. I mean, why do you think YouTubers like us are here? because we know that the mainstream media are not doing their job. I mean, we call this on a regular basis. And a lot of people come to us and say, why do you bother? We bother because we are the only ones talking about these things. I mean, for example, Candace live on Kamala, over 1 million. I mean, people are watching. People, I know that there's some people who don't watch the news, but these are elderly people who probably don't have access to internet or something like that. But people, there's one reason why YouTube is very much watched, because people do have a feeling they will have the need, like something is not sitting right, and they come to YouTube. I mean, that idiot Harry was talking on whatchamacallit on the, I did a live yesterday with Molly, and I showed the Clinton Foundation Harry's 11-minute speech, and he's saying that people are getting addicted to these platforms, and that's evil because people can't put the phone down because of these evil people, which means us, who question these things. It is a given, in my very humble opinion, that the mainstream media is corrupt. I mean, even in a stupid topic like Harry and Meghan, I mean, we've been reporting about things for 4 years, at least I have. They're just getting around to talking about what we've been talking for 4 years, and they use our stuff to talk about it. I'll give you an example, something as stupid, and it really is stupid. Meghan's brother did a little video with him pretending to give birth with a wig. World news. There's the distraction. Same brother, the same family member, says that she had a hysterectomy in her 20s. Nobody's talking about it. There's clearly a cover-up.
Yeah, that's an awfully good point, Paul. Sorry, I just want to apologize to everyone. I've got a major delay, so when I come in and talk, and then it sounds like someone's talking over me or I'm talking over them, it's just because I'm currently stuck in a 4G connection. So apologies to everyone. Could you all do me a massive favor? Make sure you give this stream a share and a like for us. And yeah, Paulie, continue with what you were saying.
But this is why we keep talking, Queenie. This is why channels like ours are here, because we're fighting the mainstream media. And when people come and say, well, why do you keep bothering? Why do you bother? We bother because it clearly is working. It's slowly, but
Paula, I'm not disagreeing that what we are doing or other channels are doing is what we're supposed to be doing and what the mainstream media is supposed to be doing. But I'm telling you, you've got your point, I've got mine. I see this as a big distraction from what's really going on, because I'm telling you, I've got friends who are in my age group and a bit younger in Jamaica. They don't know half these things that are going on. I'm telling you.
I agree with you on that, Queenie, too, because my mom doesn't go on social media. She does, but she's not getting her news from us. She's getting her news from the mainstream media, and it could be corrupt or whatever, but she is getting it from there, and my entire family. So there is a there is a group of people that is going to get their news from the mainstream media and think that what we're saying too is like probably propaganda.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example, Paula. You remember the other day when the young kids got hurt here in England? No one in Jamaica that I knew anything about it. When I shared it on my thing, they said they didn't see that news there.
But
that's what they said.
That's different. That's local news. That's local news.
No, that should be world news.
No. That's a different story. For example, that's let me give you an example.
No, it end up to be no, Paula. You're not understanding what I
get where you're coming from. I feel like what you're trying to say, Queenie, is there's a lot of the news that's suppressed regardless, because if you're putting it on your feed and they're not seeing it, that's obviously geological tagging of posts to show people news that they don't want the world to see.
Exactly.
I get what you're saying, but there's definitely a cultural and global misdistribution of information, 100 million %. But the way that people are going to be taking this from the mainstream, it's a fraction of the story, and that is just classic across the board with every one of these cases. We've got to remember, we are just simply the fodder and the slave the slave side of humanity as the common man. And for lack of a better terminology, we get like mushrooms, we get kept in the dark and we get fed on shit, and that's it. And it's frustrating beyond belief. And what you said there, Paula, about a YouTuber's the brother of a woman who made a parody video becomes world news. But then a story about young girls being murdered, which again, technically is very much local news. I agree with you with that. Pressed. It is insane. I apologize. I'm going to go back to saying nothing because I imagine the echo's coming from me.
I understand what Queenie's saying. I'm not discounting her opinion. I agree with it.
I was talking about like the riots that started to happen here in England, and it was like going right around.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that I agree with you that I've been agreeing with your point that the mainstream media is covering stuff. However, my next part of the sentence is that they no longer have the hold they used to have before when the internet did not exist. Because now people come and fact check and say, wait a minute, that's not right. And even though some people may not be getting the news from us or may not be watching YouTube, there is a much larger audience who is actually getting and turning to YouTube. And this is what the media is trying to fight. And what do they fight that? They call us, they discredit us, they call us conspiracy theorists, they call us everything because the mainstream media is losing this battle. Like, they're getting exposed every time. Diddy, they had to serve P. Diddy. If we didn't have YouTubers, the mainstream media would be selling Kamala as the next Jesus, or that Trump is the German man, or that Harry's the smartest man on earth, the nicest person, that Meghan Markle is not a bully, she's actually a saint. I mean, we would be getting that, and we would have no other outlets to go to see whether to fact check, because what happened in the 80s is that the news was very much about exposing. Now, if you come and expose somebody, you end up in jail like Assange, or, people like us, we're called conspiracy theories, we're discredited. It is unbelievable, even if we're putting out our theory. So my point is that, yes, mainstream media is loud, but we are fighting it. They don't have that hold anymore. People can question it.
Yeah,
you smashed that, Paula. You completely smashed that. You completely smashed that out of the park. I completely agree with the new weapon that the common man has. It's given our voice. The one thing that we have always had as our most powerful tool in the world of truth seeking is now at a global level. You can have, we all know this. I mean, Paula, you guys have got a podcast, the one with Ente and Molly. I've seen your viewers just on YouTube. I've seen your viewership. You guys, as a non-mainstream news source, will pull in more views than some of the news channels here when they go live in the UK. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's I'm not. It's crazy, and that's their territory.
It's also too what you want to believe. You can believe the mainstream media, you can believe the YouTube viewers. It just depends on your beliefs and what you believe, and if it's true or not. If people are going on the internet talking about Kamala and saying, she's not this person that the mainstream media claim that she is, well, that's an opinion that you can. It's all about opinion. Who you agree with,
in your opinion,
in your opinion, and who you agree with, and pretty much who you believe. It's what you believe and what you want to believe.
Why do you think that the governments are trying to censor freedom of speech? Not because of what the press says, because they allow them. The freedom of speech, which is very much targeted at people on the internet.
Yeah.
They want to target freedom. What do you think they want to censor? They're trying to, and I agree, they have an idiot like Harry saying that these platforms, he means platforms like YouTube, where people like you, me, everybody has a chance to say, wait a minute, I don't agree with this. Can you please explain this to me? I don't agree with this. Something is not right. It smells fishy. But so this is why you have Harry talking there at the Clinton Foundation that these platforms are evil, that, that people get addicted. It's an addiction. Or, this is why we have, for example, Stammer or the courts in England sending a man 20 months to prison for a post on Facebook, while the mainstream media is selling us blatant lies. They're trying to mold, because for years, for a century, the press had been molding the way they've been guiding people like sheep. You have to think that this is really what's going on. And if you notice things like 60 Minutes, I remember when 60 Minutes was actually about exposing people. If we were, like, and I've said it this many times, if Nixon happened
So
right
you
now,
think it's all a lie? You think the mainstream media is not
absolutely,
even
absolutely, they have different agendas.
wow, where are we gonna get
They choose not to expose stories, and they sit on the stories if it suits them, if it doesn't suit them, and then they release them later. But for example, if Nixon happened nowadays with the Watergate thing, we wouldn't know about it. The mainstream media, if it fit their purposes, we wouldn't know about it, because they would keep it hush. I was actually quite disturbed yesterday when your guest said that the FBI is going through P. Diddy's tapes in case the wrong face pops up. What does he mean by that? What do you does that mean that Clinton and Obama were there? Like, because they don't want presidents to be.
Allegedly.
No, I'm asking a question, Queenie. I don't have to make alleged, but I'm asking because what did he mean by that? I mean, what does he mean? Because we do know that he recorded everything. We know that.
What she meant is allegedly that they're doing it, going through his stuff to see what pops up.
Sorry. Do you not think? No, I think that Diddy's smart enough to have a whole. I'm breaking up. I'll wait until I hit 5G. Just carry on, guys.
Well, let me take a break into this too. You guys are talking about your mainstream media and then your social media outlets. I actually like having multiple outlets to get the news from, because you've got old school media that gives you the truth that they want you to hear, that all the bigwigs want you to hear. And then you have guys like you guys, I mean, you, Ron, everybody that goes deep diving to get the truth. So then you have two different sides to every story now instead of just one side.
I love it.
Yeah, you can make your own truth or believe your own truth and don't have to listen to just one source. So and you're getting it from all over the world, from different countries, from different perspectives, and you're not just watching ABC. Like Queenie's talking about her country, you've got maybe one channel that they watch. They're basically forced to absorb the little bit of information that they're given, where the rest of us are given the opportunity to watch thousands of different people on YouTube, on Twitter. Imagine all of us, we're all in this kind of the same age group, roughly within 10 years of each other. What do you think? I mean, back when we were growing up, we had none of this. We didn't have any of this stuff. You sat down in front of the TV with a bowl of cereal and you watched, CBS Sunday Night and Dan Rather, and you got what you got. Now you can pick and choose the news you want to hear. You're not just embellished to watch one thing. You can pick anything you want and get any opinion you want. You can be the red, or you can be the blue, or you can be in the middle. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can watch whatever you want, and you can believe what you want.
And
again, it'll be up to the person.
And Shane, also too, most of the time when you're getting your news from mainstream media, it kind of gives you a little bit of what's going on. And then we, as investigators or whatever, we do go on YouTube after we hear something on mainstream media to check it out, to see if it is true, or Google it and say, okay, what's going on now? I have to get things 3 or 4 times before I believe it. And or I won't say it.
And YouTubers by rights can actually be, you guys are more of the truthful fact checkers to me. A lot of times if I see something on the news, then I'll go back on YouTube or ask Ron or to ask Sean, and just find out different things from different people. And the more information you're given, the more of a truthful opinion that you can form of what you're seeing in front of you. You're seeing 60 different angles of one position, so you get to see all sides and get to hear all the details, just like Diddy. We would have seen this on the news years ago on 4 or 5 channels every night for an hour, and that's it. Right now, we can watch it 24 hours a day, and every second you're finding out something new,
Yeah, and it is a shame
because
right.
Listen, sorry, Paula. Sorry. So, Shane, I understand what you're saying, right? But there's only one way to deliver the news, and that's truthfully. And there's only one side and one story, which is the truth. And the problem that I think we have with the new 24-hour news feeding us false narratives is a global brainwashing from people that just skim the surface for their news. So I get your point because you take the next step. But if you imagine you never took that first step and you had access to 24-hour propaganda, that's where we have this control and coercion and this the toxicity that people's minds get polluted with. So I just wanted to throw that one in there because I would much rather prefer just to have the facts, the news that is just delivering us an independent and free voice, free from the hands that write the checks and all the rest of it. Because if you do a little bit of digging, it's very scary how many music executives also own massive media outlets in the US. Right. And there is a theory going around just now about Michael Jackson, Diddy, and the way that this was all handled and the way that the FBI came back and said that Michael Jackson had no images or anything like this on his phone. And the media then went out and blatantly lied about it all. And I'm not saying Michael Jackson's innocent or anything, but if you do a little...
Hello. Well, Ron went out. I just want to say something. I think that we're denting the wall, because the fact that they're fighting so angrily to try to censor, they're fighting really hard to implement laws to censor free speech. That means that we're hitting the mark. I am not a pessimist. If I were, I wouldn't be here, guys. I mean, and I hate to go on about this, but I went through legal battles with my ex and against two governments, and they kept telling me, no, no, no. And I said, I know I'm speaking the truth. I'm going to keep going, even if it kills me. And I persisted. People were telling me, oh, just give up. Just no. And I believe that we shouldn't give up. Yeah, I really do believe that we're hitting the mark here because of how violently they're reacting towards freedom of speech. King Charles congratulating Stammer for declaring the parents who were rioting and protesting against the brutal murder of the 3 little girls. Charles congratulated Stammer on calling these people far extremist or whatever. They branded parents, outraged parents, extremist. They have made it illegal in the United Kingdom to protest unless you protest the way they want, while the minorities, which actually are now the majority, if you look at it, actually the majority of the United Kingdom is immigrants, are running around the streets with machetes and knives and destroying things, and they're untouchable. But white people who protest and they're outraged because of the two-tier justice system, they're to be sent to jail and to make an example of. So we are making progress, and they want. And when
not
they
all people, not all the immigrants are doing that.
No. Leticia, I'm talking about that specific situation that happened. That there had been the day or before, or 2 days prior, there had been riots. Violent riots by a bunch of immigrants. There were immigrants. They were different. Well, they were citizens, but they were like immigrants. They were all immigrants. They were protesting the beating of the guy who had beaten up the policewoman. Now that whole thing has gone quiet. That situation has gone quiet. The guy who murdered the 3 little girls, we don't know what happened to him. But yet we do know that the guy who posted a Facebook, who's white, is doing 20 months in jail, shamed by the justice system. And this is who King Charles called to congratulate. So they want us to believe that there's no two-tier justice system. Harry right now has blatantly lied about the ESTA. And what do we have? A system in the United States who is saying, oh, he's entitled to privacy. This man admitted to a federal immigration crime when he said that he was doing joints of, whatever, at Tyler Perry's house, and he went and boasted about it. This is just like him saying, "Oh, I robbed a bank," and he lost his right to privacy. But we see that the judge is protecting him. That's two-tier justice. Other people would be kicked out. Celebrities have been kicked out of the United States. Nigella Lawson, that cook. I mean, now what was that singer on?
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse, she couldn't even come and pick her Grammy or whatever, and she had to perform from the United Kingdom because she was not allowed in because of her past drug use. And yet we have Harry, but the mainstream media wants us to believe that no, there's no two-tier justice because Harry's saying the right things. Harry's delivering the word salad at the Clinton Foundation, saying that we have to censor us. So I don't believe in pessimism. I believe we're making a dent. because they're reacting very violently and people are not putting up with it. We're not putting up with it. The Royal Griff did a video, was taken down because
Yeah.
she's exposing stuff and she's asked for help and stuff like that. But this is we are winning.
Really? That happened?
Yeah. When she
Oh
posted,
yeah.
so we are winning, guys. And I don't think we should be pessimist. I think we should think we're making and think we should be more vocal. I think, like, listen, I am in Nicaragua. Queenie, you're in Texas. Ron, I don't know where the hell you are.
No,
Shane,
I'm in England.
no, 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 no,
Leticia is in Texas.
Leticia, so her you in Texas. Shane, I don't know where you are. Ron, I don't know where the hell you are. But this is a worldwide little video that we're doing right now. So we have different audiences. People are listening, and we should not be giving people no hope. We should be giving people hope and say, "Hey, this is working. Let's keep at it. Go to your PMP or
I-
your congressman in the states and make a difference. Harass them, saying, I watched this. Do critical thinking. There
Yep.
is hope. It's working.
So
Yeah.
that would stop the censoring. That's what you're saying.
Hmm?
That would help stop the censoring, trying to censor.
Well, if enough people revolt or people say we're not going to listen to you, at the end of the day, but I haven't found that cartoon again. There is a bunch of people holding a huge round platform, and there's like 4 or 5 people sitting on top laughing. But then you can see that slowly but surely, people supporting that platform are slowly leaving. So the platform starts to crumble and they fall. Because right now, the entire world is supporting a bunch of elitists who don't want to let go of that hold. And they're fighting like mad. And we are those little people. But guys, there is strength in numbers. I hate to say like a fucking politician, but there is strength in numbers, guys. And this is what they don't want you to understand, that there's strength in numbers. United, we stand. Divided, we look at what happened to my channel. People try to take my channel down. I don't know why. But they
Yeah.
tried to take the channel down because they didn't like the way I reported things. It's been told to me in
Correct.
writing. We don't like the way you report things. Well, who are
And
you to decide how I report my channel? I didn't know how to run things through you or by you in order to report it.
yeah.
Okay, and I'm just a small YouTuber.
What you're saying there about us having a voice, and when it comes to social media, Paula, it's very important that we understand that unity, okay, all of us coming together as free thinkers and exposers, working together, is what they are trying to avoid. If you look at the Andrew Tate situation, where Andrew Tate was somebody who got such a huge platform that his opinion could sway world views, and get to the point where you could change opinion on elections and things like this. If you step out of line, they take you down. And if you're a collective rather than an individual, it's a lot harder to topple something when one brick's taken away than as opposed to you just being one brick on your own to be removed. And that's why unity and us, being together, and that's one of the things that the elites don't want across the board. They don't want us from a society point of view together. They want us divided. And certainly from a free thinking content and media coverage point of view, they want division there as well. So I think you're right. I think but we have to have unity across the board with everyone. Our voices have to be united, because one voice can be toppled.
No, but I can understand Queenie perfectly. Queenie, I can understand you getting frustrated. It's like, what the hell is going on? Absolutely. It's like sometimes I'm sure
because
you go
all we're
look at the
talking about
news.
is P. Diddy. P. Diddy
No,
has taken
no, no. But
over.
it's because it's for example, they're talking about the elections, but that depends on the person. This is why you have so many channels on YouTube, because people look at different things, But I can understand Queenie's absolute. I can imagine you just sitting there and saying, "What the hell's going on?" But then I choose to
Yeah,
think, "What?"
I'm very frustrated, Paula, because one of the things that worries me a lot is this race card that they try to use and because some people, they're just stuck in this mentality of slavery, and they can't see the bigger picture, what's happening. They're stuck in another mentality, say, oh, if I say this, I'm gonna lose my home. I can't feed my kids. So a lot of people, even though they probably want to stand up, they're thinking about self. They're not thinking about I have to do this because if I don't, what's going to happen to my children? Because sitting back and do nothing, it's still coming. So might as well you go and do something about it, you know? But a lot of people don't look at stuff like that. So that kind of worries me. Hence why I keep sharing stuff to my family members, my friends, trying to get them to read stuff. I send stuff to them to read, check this out. And they're like, oh, no, we're going to do this. And that person did this. And I'm like, listen, stop looking at stuff in that context and look at the bigger picture here. We are all one people. We're just some of us are just one a little bit lighter, some a little bit darker, but we're all one. Stop let these people who they're not having issues to go to shopping. They're not having issues if they want to if they become ill, they can get the finest doctors. They can get on a jet to go wherever they want to go. Why are we allowing them to dictate stuff to us and you're listening to them and taking in every rubbish and hating on each other? It's frustrating.
I gotta say
Yeah,
something though. I agree with you. It's something I just want to say. Irene Bain, 1% of them, 90% of us. But this is the genius of them, that they make us feel that they are 90% and we are only 1%. If you start thinking we are the majority, and when the riots were happening and people were being put in jail, I said, why doesn't the United Kingdom say we're not the entire United Kingdom said we're not going to go to work until you stop the two-tier justice system? If the entire United Kingdom had said, we're not going to work until you sort this out and you treat us equally, because you're hitting them in the pockets. It's a non-violent situation and they can't fire you for protest because that is a right within the Constitution or the Magna Carta, whatever you have in the UK. They can't fire you for that. That would have been a very peaceful, very decisive, because, guys, this is the genius of them, that they make you feel that you're the 1% and they're the 99%. But this is, if you're thinking we're the 99% and they're the 1%, F you. And the mainstream media, if you look at the mainstream media like a drowning person who's fighting really hard to not drown, then it's a mental change that we have to think about it. They are only 1%. We are 99%. And I hate, because I go back to Candace
with the mainstream media. Yeah. I mean, where were we before YouTube and all the rest of this social media? I get the manipulation though. But you can watch whatever. There's so many news stations out there that you can watch and choose from and pick which one suits you. But I'm not totally against the mainstream media, because they were the ones that brought the news to us. Otherwise, we wouldn't know anything in the beginning. But now we're investigating ourselves and going out there and doing our own digging and getting more clarity on what is going on in the world. And Quinny, I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned distraction, like you believe P. Diddy is a distraction from what's really going on. P. Diddy, all of them are a distraction. There's always going to be a distraction though, right? When there's something like this that comes out, somebody like P. Diddy is going down.
Well, yes, there is. But if you realize the question that the journalist asked, whoever is doing the prosecution or whatever, he asks a specific question: why you guys knew about this long and you waited this time? And he did not reply. So these people are doing stuff strategically, and we have to take these things in consideration too. Paula, I want to address something you said just now. Remember, we're just coming out of a situation where they conned the people to do stuff that was crazy. You wouldn't believe someone could tell you that today they told you that this thing, you could get it because it's in the hair Next minute they tell you if you touch something you could get it. They tell you, oh, you've got to stay in. So it's very hard for people to stand up and be counted, because they've done their experiment and they found their sheeps. So it's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard.
I know, but listen, the fact that they're desperately putting an idiot like Harry, censoring and branding us evil and addictive, because they're putting an idiot like Harry to say that. He said it. I did my live and I showed the 11-minute reading that he did, because he was reading it from a teleprompter. It's like these platforms are us, which means that they do feel threatened about these platforms, because when you're not threatened by something, you don't mention it. You laugh it off, or they're ridiculous.
Right.
But this platform is huge. And even YouTube with the censoring and everything. Look at Russell Brand. He was censored on YouTube. He goes to another platform. Candace Owens, censor, goes to another platform, and now she's back. People are fighting these things. The people are not taking it down. Okay, now I think Elon Musk is gonna do a competing thing against Google, because Google is too biased, and it's not, you type things, you only get certain news out. So people are, and I think that what people don't understand is that the internet and this type of reporting is actually quite new. So we're trying to find our own footing. And I've always said that the internet exploded too quickly into the public without any regulations. I do agree with that. Uh, but when it comes to freedom of speech, disagreeing. Right
Yeah.
now we have different views in this chat. And
Yeah,
it's okay. It's perfect.
of
But when
course
you
it is.
but
I
now
love it.
but look how the mainstream media has done. Look how smart they are. That if you have disagreeing points of view, you can't be friends. You can't talk to each other, because you have to think the same. And if you don't,
Mm.
you're enemies. Even in the chat, I'm seeing that, or where people, oh, I don't disagree with you, unsubscribe. I don't. We may not disagree in things, but we agree in everything. But this is what being adults and talking about things is about. And this is one of the things that the mainstream media doesn't want us to do. They don't want us to have different points of view and talk about it. That is the most important thing. They don't want different points of view, which is why I said
Yeah,
we all have to have different points of view. They all
That
want
is
us to
something
think
that is
alike.
never going to happen, because everybody has their own point of view. Even listening to the news, you can be like, oh, that ain't happening. Why they saying that? That ain't true. But
yeah.
you
They
have
want us to be collective, not
yes,
Exactly, but people
individual.
that's
exactly,
true.
but this is what people are fighting against, because
But
this
we're
is why the
strong enough.
mainstream media, yeah, but before they had it, because they were the only outlet. And then you had that little show called 60 Minutes way back when it was actually
Yeah.
kick-ass. And I agree with Shane. I'm 55. Me growing up, we had the news, but the news back then, because they were trying to compete, there was no media or anything like that. They were trying to get and compete, and who's going to expose what? They were trying to go, oh no, they said this is not right. This is what we found out. There was proper journalism. People used to call, people used to go to places, this is not right. They used to go and investigate, because they were trying to beat the rival network and to give him proper news. I remember when they with the Brown and Williams. I still remember the Brown and Williamson thing when they busted the big tobacco company, saying, "Well, that is addictive. All the BS you've been selling is insane. Look at Watergate. I mean, they have had been back in the 80s proper journalism. This is why people come to my channel and they laugh at me when I say, "Well, I phoned, or I sent an email," because nobody does that now. People just go by what's out. YouTubers like me are
That's
saying,
true.
oh, the YouTuber said that. No, I'm going to call Northwestern University. No, I'm going to call WME. No, I'm going to call the hospital. No, I'm going to send an email to Parliament. And it's because people don't do that anymore.
But do you
People don't
think
do that anymore.
and this is a weird out there thought, and this is not my belief 100%, but do you think news today, or the media slash news, is actually telling more truth than it ever has, just because there are so many people, YouTubers, fact checkers, that will call them out if they don't bring the truth
Right.
out?
No,
No,
no. Look at what they did recently with the debate. Look at what. Okay, for example,
What
that's
debate?
the Trump and
You thought it was
Kamala.
unfair?
Yes. And how they were reporting that, and how they allow this woman to say that he said if he doesn't win, there's gonna be blood. And I'm like, that's not what he said.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
not what he said.
watching that. I was like, oh my God. So it's not. No, they're not. They're pushing, they've got an agenda and they're
Yeah.
pushing it. So I
Yeah.
I don't see that.
Now,
It's
the other
also very
question,
I
interesting.
disagree.
well, the question that goes behind that, though, and this is for me personally. I'm just asking this. I don't know. You guys are way more into this than I am. So, who does it actually benefit when they tell an untrue narrative like that? Who
All
does it
right.
actually benefit?
I
It
believe that
Shane,
benefits the, the,
Shane, I'm
the
in a 5G zone.
people.
Hang on,
what?
Queenie,
What's
just
wrong
be
with
quiet a
her?
second. So I'm in a 5G area. I need to. Can you hear me?
How much?
No, Ron, we can't hear you, buddy.
Hear me? Oh,
You're breaking
Good.
up too. Let me just say something there. It benefits the agenda that they have because you know what it always comes down to? Money. It
Okay.
always comes down to the dirty. If you hit their pockets, I know because I worked in certain organizations, and it always comes to money.
So, like
Believe it or not, it's
sponsors, people who
disgusting.
sponsor the channels, that you have to make the sponsors happy, that kind of thing,
Because
right?
not only that, because these people are influencing laws that benefit the 1%.
Very true. Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
so these people, there's a lot of things why do you think these people want to influence laws, or for example the gun laws in the United States? Because there's billions, trillions made from guns, so there's always, or certain things, or healthcare, or whatever. So these people will try to get a narrative. This is good for you. This is no. This is good for you. There are these studies, and they get these whack doctors, or they get this because they want laws passed. So they need people to be on the same page with them in order to
Right.
pass those laws that eventually benefits their pockets, and that's how they keep being 1%. Look how they turned on Elon. Elon was the darling of the left until he said, you know what? X is getting too left. They're lying too many things. It's very biased. Now we know that Facebook was covering. We know because they came out and said that.
Right.
Mark Zuckerberg, and then as soon as Elon bought X and said, "Here, it's going to be free speech. I'm not going to censor, but you're going to be fact check," because there is that thing that if you say some news that is not true, somebody will fact check and say,
They'll
"No,
So
this
fact
it's
check it,
better
right?
now that Elon Musk has taken over Twitter. You think it's a lot better now?
absolutely,
Yeah, I love
hang on
it.
just a second. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, just barely,
Can you
buddy.
guys hear me? All right. So listen, I've been listening to what you're saying. So it's kind of interesting listening to Shane and Letitia giving their points of view on the news and all this. You have got to understand this is all premeditated. The level of control is so pre-drilled into you to respect authority, whether it's a teacher, a nurse, a doctor, a parental figure. Even at this day and age in your later years, it's news figures, it's politicians, it's your employer. We all still have this preemptive falling into line pre us. And when it comes to the news and taking facts, until the internet came along, there was no way for us to fact check. Once the fact checkers, become the majority, that's when we're going to see the next level of internet censorship taken over. Shane, you said what would be the point in them just telling lies all the time? Because they control a narrative. And if to control a narrative is to control the people. Because if you put something out there that's a half truth or a pile of lies, and then the internet gives you 50 other reasons for why it could be this or that, that's how you create division. By giving people,
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, that's
anything.
why I was wondering, because I didn't know. That's why I was wondering.
Oh yeah, and also I'm not shouting. I'm having to speak loud. So
no,
make sure you guys like and subscribe and share this. And
hello, he's breaking up. And then another thing that people have to, at least from my point of view, anyways, is that, for example, people have to question. Obama didn't have much money when he became president. Now he's a multimillionaire. Over Nancy Pelosi, how did she get $192 million? How did Biden
How do you
suddenly
think
was
they
getting
did?
paid? Paid
How
$4
do you
million?
think they did?
Well, because from what it was told, she didn't start her trading with Visa, the Visa credit card, which was a huge scandal. But she said, but I'm just saying, for example, you have call it, Nancy Pelosi. You have the Joe Biden, his son Hunter Biden, getting $4 million from Ukraine, and suddenly there's trillions of dollars being given to Ukraine.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, this is insane, guys. But one of the things that is very important is that the power that we have is that we have different opinions.
Right.
And you know what, just because we say we have to have different opinions, we can't call each other out. Yeah, we can call each other out in a positive way, in an engaging way, like, you know what, I don't agree with, because we should be better, we should do better. And people who are trying to discredit us, they're doing it for a reason, because we threaten them. So how do they go about it? Ridiculing you, mocking you, making sure nobody comes to you, or to isolate you so nobody listens to you. But most of it, they do it through mocking. They did that to Cat Williams. They mocked Cat Williams, the comedian that was calling out Diddy and everybody. They mock him, they denigrate him. Oh yeah, he's an idiot. He's just, that's the strategy they do. So it is important for us to have difference of opinions, talk about it, and say, no, we don't believe you. Queenie has her opinions, Letitia has her opinions, Ron has his opinions, Shane has his opinions, but we're talking here and expressing them and saying, we don't believe you guys. We don't believe the mainstream media. What about this? What do you mean?
Yeah.
I went to bed yesterday thinking, because I actually did post that question in the live with Ron and his guest. What do you mean that if the FBI is going through the videos and just to make sure that if the wrong face pops up, they keep it? That means that the FBI is a tool of this elites, and we should be calling the FBI out. And one thing that I really want to stress out, guys, we have power. You have a power with your vote. And I don't want to go Meghan Markle on you, but listen, if you're not happy with your government, you think, oh, my vote doesn't matter. Your vote matters. Because if everybody goes and votes, write to your MPs, write to your congressman. And if you get letters, you can start parliamentary petitions. You can start parliamentary questioning. You can start Congress petition or Senate petitions. So you can start government petitions in the United States. Be more proactive, because
you need a political channel.
no, because what happens is
right?
that if they see that you're engaging in stuff, if they see, because indifference is the worst. What do you think they've been able to get away with so much? Because we don't care. It's too. They make it sound like it's complicated. It's not. It is really not complicated, guys. We're the 99%. They're the 0.9%. Like we're the 99%. So if you keep that in mind, and that you have really a voice, but the major thing they have managed to do is to make you think that you don't. And those of us who are here are ridicule, are dumb, are denigrate. They even have people on YouTube trying to turn you against the very people speaking out, because that's what they do. That's what because Prince Harry, an idiot.
But you have to be smarter than that. Like we all have to be smarter than that. And it's just, we have to, that's what I believe.
We have to believe our own narrative,
Exactly. And at the end of the day, it goes back to your personal opinion, your personal beliefs, and what you believe in. Because you're going to believe YouTube or not. You're going to believe mainstream media or not. But whatever you believe in, it's individuality, I think.
Right. And you're allowed to have that opinion.
Sunshine.
Yeah, Shane.
I just want to say something to Texas Sunshine. Paula, write to your government. I know what you mean by that. And that's a great example. I have 3 governments because I have 3 nationalities. Okay. And they're engaged into other, in the 3rd government. It's precisely what I'm telling you, that you can't let what happened worldwide to happen in certain countries. Okay. Precisely because I have firsthand experience. I know that you meant it as something very funny and ridicule, but I'm going to call you out. I do have experience in third world countries, and even in what I'm watching right now happening to the United States and in the UK is very reminiscent of what's happening in these countries. And
yeah,
I'm telling you that you can fight it while you can, because once you can't fight it, you're screwed.
I totally agree with you, Paula. This is why I literally don't understand how this man who is running this country was elected. He came on the day he had an interview with, I think, this mateless woman, and she was asking him about policies and what will happen, and the guy clearly told her he wouldn't be listening to Westminster, he will be listening to Davos. How can we vote in this country, Davos? We've never voted for anyone in Davos. And this man said this, and people went and voted for them. So I don't understand.
It's this is so political. You just vote for who you believe in, and then that person wins, and then you support that president.
How can
Do you
you
guys
vote for someone who is
guys
gonna
believe
tell you
in?
that
Let me say
the
this.
place?
Let me say this.
Let me explain to what I was trying to say. Okay, just like you've got the Democrats and you've got the Republican, right?
Right, but do you believe
Here,
once that president becomes president, do you support that president? Like when Donald Trump, even though if I decided I didn't want to vote for him, I still would support him because he is the president of the United States. Does that make sense? Like,
okay,
whether
I
I voted for
understand
the
that
other
All right.
person or
totally,
not,
and
and I
I
might
would
not agree
agree.
with all his I might not agree with Donald Trump.
No, no, okay. Let me explain. Let me break it down to you. Your president, yeah. Say, um, Kamala win, and you're a Republican and whatever. You're gonna respect that, right? That's fine, because that's the way
Well,
it should
I will
be.
respect whoever is in
Yeah,
office. That's just
I'm explaining. I'm trying to explain what the reason for what I said just now. Davos. We didn't vote for anyone in Davos. Davos, we don't know who these people are. And the people who we vote for is in Westminster. And he said he's not going to listen to anyone there. He's listening to Davos. So how can that be? And he said this clearly before the election went on.
so so my question is, if I didn't vote for that person, should I not support him because he is trying to make a better country for us? Like say for instance, he becomes
Mm, you're not understanding what I'm saying, Letitia. I
sorry.
understand what you're saying. Listen, it doesn't matter who you're supporting, right? Davos is an entity that no one in this world voted for. You didn't vote for them.
Right.
Paula didn't vote for them. No citizen in
They
any
kind of just
country
put him
voted
on
these
there.
people in. We voted for the people in Westminster to represent each county here. And he said he wasn't going to listen to any of those people that we elected. He's going to listen to this body of people that no one voted for. These are the people who are bringing in censorship
Right, and that's
and one
wrong.
world order. And he said this before the election, and people voted for them. I can't believe. Yeah, I can't believe it. It's weird. It's weird. But for me,
I,
it
I'll
doesn't
be
matter who is in power or
yeah. I'll
what.
be honest. The whole concept of right and left, Republican, Democrat, all of this is once again the plan of creating division. Okay, you have
Division.
no vote. There is no way in this whole world that you can sit and convince me that you think that these individuals that are put in power have any sway over anything. They're there to give you a sales pitch that is then rug pulled away from you the minute they get into power, and they spend the next however many years trying to backpedal and all the rest of it. It's been a steady decline in economics and society across the board in the
Yes.
Western world for the last 20, 30 years. We are all part of a preordestined, nasty nasty plan. And one thing that they didn't expect was people sat on their backsides using their fingers to do their own investigative journalism and put the truth out there. Do not ever sip the Kool-Aid. And the Kool-Aid is literally anything that appears on the mainstream that is owned and produced by the same people that are part of these cabals that seem to make children disappear, and the celebrities that seem to do what they do, and it just goes unseen. And you've got to understand, it sounds like a conspiracy nut, but this is the reality that is unfolding. We have got an opportunity here with to really try and topple at least one level of the House of Cards in Hollywood. I'm telling you now, it's so easy to sit there and say, actually, it's good to have differences of opinion when it comes to the news and all of this. It's so easy to do that because that is comfortable. I'd much rather go, oh, actually, I believe him a little, because it's comfortable. That's why we have a snooze button, okay? Because we don't like change, okay? We want the road of least resistance. We're pre-programmed for it, okay? And the thought of a global change is terrifying on a subconscious level to the sheep nation. This is the thing. Society is pre-programmed to give people too much stress to cope with. Oh, I've got to pay this. I've got to work. I've got to do this for the kids. Can you imagine trying to find time for us to collectively have a global meeting about fixing the planet? It's not going to happen. The society has been set in a way. Okay, has been set in a way so that we are up against it, whether it's from division, religion, societal factors, and they've perfected it. But like I say, the only weapon left now is our united voice, which is what the internet has given us, and the big plan is rolling out. But if you've got a train barreling towards you, okay, it's hard to stop that train, you know. But if there's a collective group, okay, sure, I'm pretty sure the first few thousand people are going to get vaporized by the train hitting them, but eventually it will stop. But if there's one person standing there, you can see how those who have voices, look at history, look at people who've changed the world with music and end up getting shot or dying. It comes across all races when we look at how many people, especially 60s, 70s, 80s, have tried to change the world with music and have been taken out. That was the early days when one individual voice reached the masses, it was removed. And it's the same now. It's the exact same now. That is why unity and strength through us all being united for truth is the biggest weapon in the world that we have against all of this. Now,
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm very pleased to say we've done 90 minutes on Diddy.
I'm sorry. I just want to say that.
I just want to say to everyone, apologies for coming in a bit ranty. I've just been driving in the van, and I can't wait to sit with for some of the facts of life and destroy your perception of the universe. Respectfully. One second, Paul. I can hear you, Paul. So, listen, we've done a fantastic. All right, Shane. We've done a fantastic 90 minutes on Diddy. I'm very pleased to say, for all of you very patient people who have been salivating for some royal content, I have got a very excited Paula. When Paula ends up in WhatsApp with about 45 links going, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? I'm like, you know I've not, for a start. That's always the answer. But there is some madness that has been going on. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's sticking with the show. Can you make sure you like and subscribe and share? Thank you for putting up with the terrible sound quality for me and me coming in mid-rant and not being able to really speak. I really appreciate it, and you're showing support for the panel and everyone behaving themselves. I just want to say, as a community, you make me incredibly proud. And as panel members, your free thinking, your discussion, your head button is what we have. And that's what makes us so amazing, is because we can have an open discussion. We can get points of view across, but you're always going to have this fight for the truth. And that's what I love about all of us. So, Paula, take us through what is, to be honest, it's the lesser of the two evils. Maybe not on a grand scale when we start bringing in birthrights and all this kind of stuff. But certainly, lesser of the two evils, the Diddy and the current updates on the royals. So take us through some royal stuff. I'm going to go and talk to the boss on WhatsApp. I'll be back in 2 minutes. And I just want to say how much, once again, I appreciate all of you, mods, side chat, and my channel. So much love to all of you. I'll be back in a minute.
Well, I just dropped a video. I couldn't help myself laughing. Please go watch it. I dropped it earlier today because I actually, for some reason, and I say, I'm not saying that demons are funny or anything like that, but for some reason. So what is the truth about boss Meghan? After loyal staff he praised on Sussex's, now Duchess is accused of chewing people up. That she's accused of being a demon with psycho moments for some reason, and the Daily Beast. I've been laughing at the Daily Beast. This is so, guys, so beneath even tabloids. It's like Meghan Markle engaged the U.S. tabloids in the way that she should have known better, because she went like the Hollywood Reporter. And guys, that the Hollywood Reporter guy just won 11 prizes or something like that just yesterday or something like that for being the best reporter and everything. I'm sure Meghan is absolutely screaming because she basically went against the Hollywood Reporter, the Bible, and she managed to pay U.S. Weekly to have her bully her staff, allegedly, my opinion, into saying that she was nice, that they're like plants that she waters with love, that she gives them.
Is that the new rebuttal?
What she said? That wasn't U.S. Weekly. But so the Hollywood Reporter says this, then they double down, and then Meghan publishes the U.S. thing with paid a ridiculous amount of money to the people who came out to defend her. This source said they vowed never to work with her again, despite the prestige of having her as a client. Wow. If you were working for her, you were often treated like a tradesman who could be treated like SHIT.
Oh,
yes, not today, Satan. So after Meghan Markle pays to publish the U.S. Weekly thing, right? Then, bam, the Daily Beast, a beast in Hollywood and the tabloid world, says, not today. Not today, Satan. Letitia, help me say it, please.
Not today, Satan. Get behind me.
I barely managed to get through my video today because I was laughing so hard. Please go watch it because this is.
I can't wait to see it.
This is so embarrassing. It's like you're a bully. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. It's
like a 2-year-old.
It was brutal. I couldn't to be called a demon with psycho moments.
Wow.
I was laughing. I couldn't really finish. I had to hold it because I tried to look professional, but I was just laughing. So the word demon, and then you see Meghan Markle, and it's like,
wow.
And then I started thinking, everybody knew, and Queenie, we go back to the same thing. Everybody knows about this woman. But it's funny that when the press decides that they're not going to cover up for you, how they come after you, which means that they know. They know. So because they've known, like people like me, we were called crazy, racist when I started calling her out back in 2018. It's like, what the hell is this woman? But I am so, have you guys seen it? Not today, Satan, not today. And then
I can't wait to see your video. I'm going to watch it after this.
No, but it says,
I haven't watched anything all day because I came back with my son from the doctors. Sorry.
Is he okay?
Yeah, it's just he's got really terrible chest infection and his asthma is on him. So I haven't really been on. But he's all right. He's all right.
Yeah. But this is what Meghan Markle had published her thing. It says, whenever staff go to their house, they leave with a basket with fresh flowers, fresh fruit, fresh eggs.
Eggs from the chickens?
Yeah, probably those poor chickens, this woman, and let's not forget, because this is very important, that the editor, the one that got the 11 awards yesterday in Hollywood, he is financed by Ron Burkle, the owner of Soho House, Meghan Markle's headquarters. Meghan Markle's favorite. Yeah, she even decorated a Frogmore cottage she used the interior designer for Soho House to decorate her stuff, and she's got the same designer because I guess she wants to feel like she's at home. And Soho House does that. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys make
Back
of
to her
what's
roots.
happening?
This is interesting that she's fighting with, the truth. It's not shocking, but it's laughable because she is this bully. She is a bully. She is this person that has been very vile to others, and she is a dictator in Hill. She is that person. And now that Hollywood has called her out, she's getting further and further from being popular than she's ever been. Like, it's in with this P. Diddy stuff, you can't tell me she's not upset that we're not really talking about her as much as we were. We're talking about P. Diddy.
No, but this is yummy because people have to see that people like her who was untouchable. Remember that Oprah went and manufactured.
Very untouchable.
She manufactured headlines. She cropped some of the headlines in the UK about Meghan Markle when she did that interview. I don't even call it an interview.
Yeah, the show.
I remember the press in the UK said you have to take that down because those were not the headlines. I mean, Oprah. Oprah's a skank in my very humble opinion and then she said, I'm not taking it down, but they did take it down because the whole interview, you can't really find it in full, but she manufactured, she falsified because the Associated Press said she was exposed. That was not the headline. We never said that. This is what the headline was, but the problem with the internet is that once you put something out, it never goes away.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Queenie, what do you think about Meghan going back and forth and trying to prove that she's some goddess and giving out baskets and eggs?
Listen, she's just proving the point that she is a little tyrant, a little Jezebel, little vacuous creature she is.
Yeah, I mean, the Daily Beast didn't pull any punches. Former employees of Demon Boss Meghan Markle recall psycho moments. Meghan Markle was a demon who had psycho moments as a boss. People who work for her have told the Daily Beast. And I don't know why Meghan Markle's gone against him. She should know better. She's been paying these people for a long time.
Wow,
Yep.
they called her a demon.
I just want to say quickly, thank you.
That is harsh.
You guys hear
That
me?
is pretty big. Sorry, Ron.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say thank you again to you ladies for holding down the fort, keeping the chat going, and delivering such awesome royal coverage, because I am basically useless today. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to you. This way you had a little break. Carry on, and I appreciate like and share. Like and share. Thank you very much.
Can you post my page, Ron? I have a page here that I want to show this.
Yeah, if you bring it up for me, I'll get an alert and I'll be able to share.
It's already there. All I have to do is make it live.
The Daily Beast. Where is that?
It's the Hollywood. This is the Daily Beast. It says the positive portrait of Meghan's management style, bullying, was painted in US.
If you share your screen on here, I should be able to put it up on it for everybody. If that's what you're.
I am sharing it with you.
Okay, I might not. Hang on. Just stay there. Hang on. Guests. Paula M. Add to stage. Ron is doing his job really. Finally, I'm going to be quiet now.
So the positive portrait of Meghan management style was painted in US Weekly on Tuesday as Team Meghan launched a fight back against a report in the Hollywood Reporter that claimed Meghan was a dictator in high heels. They were being kind, who reduced grown men to tears. Sources close to the couple denied that story as a fabrication to the Daily Beast last week. However, I love this when they say however. One courtier who worked for Meghan and Prince Harry as part of their service at the palace told the Daily Beast, there have been plenty of difficult royals over the years, and I do think that after the ill feeling of Brexit when Harry and Meghan left the royal family, Meghan's bad moments were amplified and distorted and blown out of proportion. Princess Margaret regularly got people to hold out their hands to use as ashtrays, for example, and that's just laughed off as hilarious eccentricity. Look at Prince Andrew. He was unbelievably to the staff, and I don't mean in a nice way. That said, there definitely were bad, very bad, even psycho moments. I witnessed people being chewed up in person and over the phone and made to feel like SHIT. I
Wow.
mean,
Wow. That is so shocking. It's shocking because she was new to the royal family. And then you go in there with this kind of attitude, with this kind of bossy bullying attitude, and you're new to the family. Like how do you get away with that?
I was actually quite disheartened. I'm going to tell you something, because it just goes to show, now that they're exposing Princess Margaret and Prince Andrew, that this is accepted behavior. Because they also go on to say that the reason why the bullying report ordered by the Queen, Her Majesty the Queen, is never going to see the light of day is because it's going to make the royal family look bad. And this is what I talked about in my video earlier today
Oh,
as well. Because they're used to that kind of behavior. I mean, can you imagine having somebody smoking and dumping hot ashes on the palm of
yeah.
your hands?
No.
That is actually assault. I don't know what you want to call it. Prince Andrew being a real bully to everybody, and now Meghan. So it goes to show that they are used to covering up for their staff, and they're used to covering up for Meghan. So they can't go out and single Meghan Markle out
Well, she's not even
without.
a real royal.
Yeah, but they
So,
can't go. Yeah, but they can't go singling her out, and this is what she holds over them, without because she's going to turn
oh,
around and say, "Wait a minute." I mean, Harry, as a child and even as a teen, he used to ride his bicycles against the Secret Service agents' knees, hurting them. I mean, this is a man who was nasty, and they covered up for him. So Meghan Markle, all she has to do is, wait a minute, how about her? How about him? And now you're doing this to me. You're being racist. I mean, what do you guys think?
what do you think, Queenie?
I don't know if she's here. But what do
Yeah,
you think?
I'm here.
But what do
I
you
was
think?
just
Because
talking to my son.
do you agree that the reason why the palace is not releasing the bullying report and they covered up for Meghan is because they're used to covering up for their own in regards to
Okay,
their
That
behavior?
could be a
that
part of it.
that is a part of it, but I don't think that is
All.
really why it is. It's the level of what she was doing. They can't comprehend why that was happening. And because at the time they were having this craziness around the world with Black Lives Matters and this madness. So they did not know how to handle this because as soon as she came in, remember, the first thing she starts saying, remember they put out that statement that they have to remove recently off their thing to say, oh, because of what she looks like. The press is saying whatever. So they don't want to put that out and look terrible either. So it's a combination of several things, but that's definitely one of it. That's
I
definitely
believe it's
one.
one of them.
Because
Yes.
it seems from what we've been reading that that things this is what I'm saying. People now are speaking out. They're coming out. From what I see, is like people are saying, actually, when I worked there, before you would never hear an employee or anybody talk about it. But now it's like, wait a minute, when I worked there, this is what happened. And they were really terrible. So all of this has started to come out and they don't look good that they covered up, because we know by Jason Kanoff's email that he reported Meghan's absolutely appalling behavior a year prior. So for at least an entire year, they knew what this woman was doing
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
did nothing. That email, and I've been talking about it and I've been getting a lot of hate for this, but it's true. If this was reported and they did nothing, how do you think those employees felt? And Meghan felt,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Why even do the report if you're not going to do anything about it?
because he felt that something had to be, I really do believe this, that he felt something had to be left on record, because
Oh,
you see, people nowadays is not the same as people like us back then. That, oh, we let it slide, or people in the palace.
let it
This
go.
was like an American gay man, a very Gen Z. I don't know what generation he is, or millennial. I don't know what the hell, but these are the new generations where they speak out against everything. So he saw behavior and said, "This doesn't stand in my world," and he reported it. Okay, and the palace didn't do anything, and I'm pretty sure Meghan found out about it. And when she found out that they weren't going to do anything against her, that empowered this woman,
Even
that,
more.
yes, that fostered that behavior and said, I am really untouchable. I can be even
Yeah.
worse and nothing's going to happen to me. And this is why we're with.
Yeah.
this thing
And
now.
that's how she's treating her employees right now.
Yeah, they're not like plants that need watering, but like this is one of the things that I've always said, that internet is going to expose things, because now people are saying, wait a minute, the difference is gone. People are not afraid. People are speaking out. Well, this idiot is actually quite bullying. He drove his Range Rover against the gates of things. He could have of the palace, and he could have killed people. And guess who paid to replace the gates of the Buckingham Palace, the ones that Andrew destroyed on purpose? The taxpayers.
Oh wow.
I mean, what do you guys think?
God, I forgot. Shoot.
But it's interesting that the press is going against Meghan. I'm happy that the press is
I
at
was
least
just about to say something about that, Paula, that if we're not seeing exactly what's happened with the now Queen is happening with Harry. All these positive press sending him out to do, and they're demonizing her a bit more. She's a little demon, and we know this.
Yeah, she is.
But his stuff is all nice and rosy and clean, while he was bullying the staff too.
Oh yeah,
He may not be bullying these ones, but he was in the palace. So they're cleaning up his image for him to come back in. So, and they're just flooding the internet with stuff about her, because I think by the end of the year, we're going to see a big announcement that they're no longer together. As soon as he's folded back in, well, that's what I think. As soon as he's folded back in, it's like you've got a dough and a bit of your dough is missing, so they're gathering him back to be a part of the dough, and she's gonna be, yep, that's what I think.
Okay.
Did you know that Sarah Ferguson is in New York on behalf of Charles?
Oh yeah, she's passing on the message from Daddy.
Yeah, Sarah Ferguson what is Sarah Ferguson doing in New York? She's not out of state.
Yeah.
She's there. She's there
help,
passing the message. And Beatrice is there too, by the way, guys. In case you didn't know this, they were exposed being there because they wanted to keep this on the down and low, but people saw them and now they're being exposed. So Beatrice and Sarah are there in New York at the same time as the darling boy Harry.
I have a question. Do you guys think that now that she's been ousted out, which I know the answer already, that she's going to be a better boss now? Like now that she knows that she's a demon?
Oh no.
She's going to start treating her staff better?
No. If that was the case, do you think she would bully these ones to come out and say nice things about her? Hell no. Hell no. This is a bullying topic. This is why I'm saying what she's doing is shedding light on her behavior even more, because why would you even want someone to come out and speak? You just leave it alone. They say what they say. If you're a good person, you just say, whatever, I know I'm doing good, so I don't have to just justify myself to you because I know that I'm a good person. But because she knows she's a little demon child, she has to try and change the narrative, but we're seeing her even more because she's highlighting what she's doing.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but this is the thing, though, that they're trying to whitewash Harry's image. But yeah, Sarah Ferguson and Beatrice, because people for some reason think that Eugenie is the one that's very besties with Harry and she's the sneaky one. Beatrice is worse. Beatrice is none of the York women or husband or men should even. These four people are very shady. Period. And I don't know, because somebody sent me yesterday, and I want to thank the subscriber who sent me this on my Facebook. And by the way, follow me on Facebook. She said that Ghislaine Maxwell gave up a few names about 2-3 months ago. And apparently that could have consequences with Diddy, because she gave up Diddy or something like that. That is related, the downfall of Diddy, with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh.
how true that is, but it's actually a very good that Ghislaine Maxwell just called the feds to talk about some things and some parties and stuff like that, and she gave information. Suddenly, we see Diddy falling apart, and don't forget that the York girls are very good friends with Diddy.
Really?
Beatrice and Eugenie and Sarah and Fergie, of course, they're very good friends with Diddy.
Wow.
They went to parties with him in Ibiza, New York, and all kinds of things. I mean, I don't know if they're
Tell
doing
us
damage
about
control.
it.
I don't know what the hell's happening. From what I was told, Harry did go to a couple of freak off parties, one of them in Ibiza, with
Oh,
with Beatrice and Fergie. I don't know.
wow.
I don't know if it's going to be called up upon because it happened outside of the United States. But apparently, he also went to one of the parties in Florida. But the thing is that people don't understand that Harry, according to his book, we now know he's been in the United States a lot more often than people think. He was
Mhm.
at Courtney Cox's house doing mushrooms. So this guy got around. We found out he was in Texas because of the pictures that got leaked.
Right.
That he was in Vegas. Sorry, did I say Texas or Vegas?
You said
Vegas.
Texas.
Vegas. We know that he was in Vegas because of the pictures that got leaked. So if not, we wouldn't have known. This guy was going in and out because when they want to, they can fly under the radar. But now people are keeping an eye out more, and they have a phone, they have everything, and this is how they found out that Fergie is with Beatrice in New York.
Well, these people, they've been running a game on us.
They have.
But can you
The
imagine
con of the
what is Fergie
century.
doing? What is Fergie doing there? I mean, aren't you guys curious about that?
Yeah.
Passing on a message. They don't want to speak on the phone, so it's easier to be in person.
No, and yeah. I'm sorry about that, Sky Queen. Paula's really nosy, isn't it? No, I actually like to know what's going on, and that's why I have a
Yeah,
YouTube channel to
we have
report
to
on it.
be. We
Yeah,
have to be nosy.
yeah.
We have to be because everything they do affects us one way or another. Even if you're in Timbuktu, it affects you.
No, I'm serious. I mean, people there's a lot of things that are people are doing, and then we find out, and then Harry mentioning Colombia again, like because he mentioned it in the speech, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to position them as experts on child online abuse, right?
Yeah.
So they can get invited to go to participate in Colombia on the 7th and 8th of November because they want to be part of the expert panel
They
members in
going back?
Colombia. They want to go back. They're aiming for this. Is why Harry mentioned it in his 11-minute speech. And he mentioned that World Conference in Colombia, the 7th and 8th of November. They
He's
want to
really
pressure
pushing it,
people.
isn't he?
Yes,
He's
yes.
really pushing it.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
He's trying to
Well,
shut us down, shut it up.
well,
I think
it
it's
was
because of his
passed. They all
Jezebel.
signed. Everyone signed that bill the other day there. So let's see what happens now. It was passed, but the weirdest thing is it's hidden. They didn't put it out to the public. They don't want anyone to see the new proposal because they had to
Oh,
go and redraft everything. Yeah, because there was stuff that people were in agreement with, and they said they're going to rework some of the languages or whatever they've got inside there that people had concerns about. But these people now, they can come now and say, oh, there's a pandemic. You need to lock everyone down. They're not allowed out. You need to switch that their electricity off. You need to switch everything off. Well, that's what I think.
just turn it off.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, it is
There.
it's very interesting that what we're watching is that it's something that's actually how angry Meghan Markle reacts when her behavior is called out. You can't call me a bully because she's not used to it. And I don't, that's
Mm.
one question I wanted to ask you guys. Why are people afraid to call her out, even when she was an unknown nobody? Because this behavior is not
Yeah.
new, and we heard stories of it. So we wonder why, if somebody like Meghan Markle came to me and acted that way, I know where I tell her to go.
Paula, I've been saying the same thing too. It blows my mind. Like, it literally blows my mind when they said, "Oh, she make grown man cry." Like, what? Like,
Yeah, that shocked
well,
you, Queenie. You
like,
were shocked.
well,
You were like, hell no.
oh
No,
my God.
but it's something that that people have to keep an eye out for, because I do believe that what the problem is. The
She's
royal family
dangerous.
are very public. The royal family is very public, right? And they used to have a lot of control over the media before. First, out of respect, because they were the royal family, but now because they were powerful, they got a lot of power, and now they also don't want to let go of that image.
Right.
They don't want to let go of that power. It is really hard for Meghan Markle to now be in the United States, because she can. Why hasn't she called them racist?
Right. She hasn't said it yet.
Because that was a white man who called her a dictator in heels, and then the Daily Beast people are white calling her a bully. Why hasn't she claimed racism in the United States?
Good question.
Because there was an agenda to divide us here in the UK, to bring in all these madness that's happening here now. This is all, listen, this is all their plan. And now they're working Harry back in. This was all
Wow, I didn't know
ordained.
that. That is new that
Well,
they're
that's
working him back
that's
in.
my that's my belief. That's my belief. What's
Okay.
happening here? I'm not saying it's 100%, but just seeing everything that has taken place
Like
since
wishing
this,
him happy birthday.
sorry.
They wished him a happy birthday. They haven't wished him a happy birthday in forever.
Well, yeah, and they claim that, oh, the Queen says, if it's a milestone birthday, you can.
Oh,
Personally, I would never listen. I
and then
love my family.
the Duke.
I I love all my family, even the bad ones, the whatever. But if someone trashes me on a world stage, I can say happy birthday to you, but you'll be getting that privately. No one would know. And if you put that out there that I told you happy birthday, I will deny that. Because
Exactly. I was shocked that they wished him a happy birthday and then called him the Duke of the what is his? He's the
Happy
I
birthday,
say
Duke of
Duchess so
Sussex.
much.
Happy birthday to the Duke of Sussex.
Okay,
yeah, I was so mad. I was so pissed that day. I was like,
I didn't like
what?
it at all
But
either.
then if you sit back and if you wanna, people will say, oh, they had to do this, and you have to like think a little bit outside the box. People are saying, oh, they had to do it because the media would say, so what? The media has been saying stuff and they're not addressing it. So why would they care if the media go against them if they didn't wish him happy birthday? So this is all their stage, and they're performing. They're on the stage and they're giving us a performance. Is either we believe what they're doing, is just say what you're saying, Paula.
No, it's just that we got to understand this. It's kind of like how dare you expose us? We are the elites. Everything we do is great. You can't complain about our behavior in spite of the fact that we're living off of you. Because Harry was in New York, by the way. This is what I say to the people in New York. Write to your MPs and demand to know why Secret Service was protecting Harry, why local police cars were handed over to follow Harry everywhere. One of my son's friends he just sent me the picture. I sent it to Ron earlier.
Wow.
It's one of my son's friend was just walking around the streets. He lives in New York, and he just ran into Ed Miliband, leader of the opposition, leader of the Labor Party from 2010, 2015, and got a selfie with him. He's walking around in New York with, because
Ed Miliband is in New York at the moment.
yeah.
That dirty bastard.
Yeah, but my son, I'm not my son, my son's friend got a picture with him. He just took a picture with him this morning. He's in New York because he lives in New York.
Did you hear about the mayor in New York that just got indicted?
Ooh. And he's the one that I think he's the one who approved the security for Harry, because so people have to ask these. You guys have to inundate your MPs and your congressmen and your representative in the United States. Call the police, call the mayor. Because you know what their philosophy is? It's better to say sorry, oops, and do it than ask permission. Because they know that if they ask the New Yorker, should we pay? And I can tell you with certainty that Prince Harry can walk the streets of New York and nobody will know who the hell he is unless he yells at people, I'm Prince Harry, I'm Prince Harry.
That's true.
I know the royal grift is probably pissed off because she doesn't like when the taxpayers is paying for Harry's security and travel and stuff like that. She calls them on the phone, and the mayor and the police station. And
yeah, she does. She does. she and Paula call and writes.
Yeah, and apparently people don't like it when we do that.
We don't care. The thing is, it's good to do that because at least you've got evidence to say, see, this is what I did. This is what I did to try and get these people to do us right.
Guys, I have to get going because I have to prepare for a live on my channel with Tumi in about half an hour. But thank you for having me.
Paula,
and you guys stay on. You guys,
wait, no. Before you go, I think I read something in the chat that Sean Atwood is doing a show right about now. And should we shut it down or keep going?
I don't know how to shut it down. I'm not running it. This is Ron who's running it. But I have to go. But just you guys can keep it up, and I have to go because I have to prepare and I have to charge a laptop.
Okay.
Bye,
Paula, have fun.
Well, Queenie, we can shut it down. We can do it, right?
Yeah, we can go. We can talk. We can talk. We can talk. There's Ron. Ron's coming back. Oh, bless Ron. His internet is playing up.
I hope your son feels better soon too, Queenie. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the weather. It's the change.
Apologies, everybody.
That's okay, Ron.
Listen, I'm sorry to interrupt everybody. Yeah, sorry everyone. I went through like a 20-minute dead zone there, and I need to say thank you to everyone. But I'm too scared to go into our dead zone and leave you two here by yourself because there's no way for you to end the stream. So I just want to say thank you so much, Paula, Queenie, all of you. I knew this was going to happen today. I sent out a message to all the panel members to ask them to come and cover my ass today. And all of you stepped up. And I just want to say thank you so much. It means the world. The mods in the side chat, you ladies and gentlemen who tune in every day and make all of this possible. I just want to say thank you to all of you. Make sure you like and subscribe. I am back later on. I'll keep you all posted. But a big thank you to everyone on the panel today. You really stepped up and helped me. I just want to say I appreciate you all.
You're welcome.
You,
and
Ron.
Leslie, yes, that's how we sleep. Sat right up in my bed. Thank you.
All right. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. Sean Atwood is currently live going over all the politicians named on Diddy's list. Go and check it out. It's live on this channel right now. And I will see you all in the next one.
All right.